president of the Scott Data Center, executive director of the Scott Technology Center.
And I'm Traci Hancock. I'm the director of Maverick Innovations at the University of Nebraska at Omaha. We started with evidence-based approaches back in 2010. We embraced the process and felt that it provided a fantastic framework for startups, people who were uncertain whether or not they had an idea that was viable, to use to build their business and move it forward. One of the main tenets of evidence-based innovation activities is to go out and actually talk to your customers and learn from them what it is they're looking for, how they want to solve the problems, do they want to pay for a solution, and that's the data that you are collecting. But it comes through in a very conversational, free-flowing, fluid manner. And so you take the information that you have in these conversations, you put it together in a way that you can then determine if what the problem that you are trying to solve is actually a problem worth pursuing and solving.
The evidence-based approach is really systematic, gathering data, so it's rational decision-making, not emotional, and then synthesizing the data, looking for unique insights in a large enough data set that you can make informed decisions. It applies to both startup and large enterprises, so if you follow the process diligently, decisions will be made that lower risk versus the ambiguity that typically comes with either entering a new market or starting a new project or a new company.
And when we talk about data collection, we really are talking about conversations and not surveys. You can get so much more information from a fluid conversation. You can do follow-up questions easily. And those follow-ups are probably the most important and insightful bits of information that you're going to get. And so while later on in the process, surveys, market research have a role in it, in the beginning, we really emphasize getting out of your office, getting out of the building, and going out, finding your customers, and having actual conversations.
We typically advise enterprises or startup companies to identify a problem they're trying to solve. An example would be a large enterprise we've worked with, and they were looking at either generating more revenue, decreasing cost, and I believe they were looking for a new opportunity in their target market area of their industry. So really the team set forth to start digging in internally and then looking at the conditions in their business as to what are problems that they have not been able to solve, or what are problems they're trying to solve with workarounds that aren't very efficient, and maybe there's a different approach to tackle those. Internally, they were able to get more insight and deeper dive into some of the data sets to help them maybe move forward.
We really focus on the problem versus solution. So many times people who are entrepreneurs, they come out at, I've got the greatest idea ever, and that's their solution already developed. And sometimes it's hard to flip the switch and tell them, okay, take a step back, put your idea off to the side, and what problem does your solution solve? That's where we start. We want you to start off with really thinking about the problem that you're solving. Who are you solving the problem for? Why do they want that problem solved? And probably more importantly, for most people, are they going to pay for that solution?
Generally, if you're aware of entrepreneurship in Nebraska and the Midwest, it is a common story. A group has raised money, a startup. They've gone 6, 12, 24 months. They've spent the resources, and now they've learned what they've done wrong. So they spent time, money, investor money to typically go back for another investment round to keep them going forward, and it's a very expensive tuition. The evidence-based approach really helps you understand, okay, let's solve where we're going first before we spend any significant resources. Thereby you save dollars, you're more efficient with what's being used, and it's a much more return on investment is both time and money. Partnership with AIM, there are a few ways it came about. Working under the Scott Technology Center, Scott Data Center, we've been aware of and affiliated with AIM in various forms and fashion. It seems to me, if you look at AIM in the community, there's a track record of education, technology exposure from little shaver, young kids, all the way through adults.
So we're really looking forward to seeing who registers, who applies, who shows up for the classes. Registration's open now. You can go get more information on interfaceschool.com, and we'd love to see you when the cohort starts.